Should I wait until Asian businesses are financially struggling? I don't see how the boycott would accomplish any meaningful change. There's a lot of black people trying to boycott Asian businesses, which really irked me. Because I never see them boycotting white businesses whenever a white person kills a black person. The double standard is crazy, especially considering that white people kill way more black people than Asians do. And the reason why Asians are being targeted as a whole here is rooted in racism. In the Western world, we are viewed as a monolith, whereas whites are viewed as individuals. That's why the entire community gets punished for something only one of us does. And I know it's 100%. You can tell when a black person has African immigrant parents. The biggest difference that I noticed was that they're a lot more friendly and relatable to me than the black people with American lineage. I've always noticed that whenever someone talks about black Americans, people use it as an opportunity to shit on them. It happens all the time online, and it gets pretty annoying.
So, the reason why I stitched all those videos together so you can get a grasp of what I've been seeing from this creator from like the last few months. So I do think it's pretty interesting. So this creator has a habit of posting and deleting, and the very first video is him talking about how much he gets along with black immigrants because they're kind to him and this, that, and the third. And like later on in the video, he talks about how black immigrants value education more than black Americans, right? He deletes that video, but in the comments, people were calling him out, black immigrants included. I'm commented, I was like, you're weird, like, you can talk about how you get along with black immigrants without putting down black Americans. He deletes that video. The next day, he puts up a video talking about, what you seen, how people shit on black Americans, as if that's not what he was doing. But the thing is, people wouldn't know because he had deleted the video. He spends his time trying to pit black Americans against black immigrants. That's besides the point. I do find it ironic, though, because he talks about monolithic groups later on in his other videos, as if he does not do that to black Americans. Anyways, then he makes a video the other day talking about Cyrus, and his whole thing was he didn't speak about Cyrus. He didn't give a fuck about Cyrus and the reason why black people are boycotting. And it's not just, it doesn't have anything to do with Cyrus. It has to do with the fact that black people are constantly in this weird situation where so we go into these businesses and we're treated like criminals right off the bat. Nobody wants to keep dealing with that shit. Cyrus was just the catalyst. And so to sit here and say that, you know, we're treating people as a monolithic group as if we've not been being treated like a monolithic group since forever by the Asian community. It's not all Asians, but it's a majority of them. Let's be honest. It's pretty interesting considering he has done it himself. So I think that's pretty damn ironic. On top of that, he only brings up Cyrus and the woes of the black community in conversation with why the black community should give our money to Asian businesses, because it's divisive if we don't. You believe that the black dollar belongs to the Asian community and that we should spend our dollars with you, and if we don't, we're bad people. That's fucking crazy. You don't think that's weird to say? Like, every single video he makes is just worse and worse because all it is saying is that you don't really care about the conversation why black people want to boycott. You pretend like you understand, but you really don't. And then you go and say, well, you know, it's harming us if you guys don't spend your money with us. We may disrespect you, this, that, and the third, but you should spend your money with us. Like, that's some fucked up shit. Like, but anyways, this person is anti-black. They talk about how they left their conservative right-wing views behind, but they haven't. They just rebranded. He tends to talk about the black community in such a way that I've always thought was weird, and he likes to delete videos. He's made a problematic video before talking about the black community, and I remember it was very problematic, but he deleted it, and I didn't save it, and I wish I did. But this isn't his first time. He does not care about anything. He doesn't speak about anything in the black community unless he can use it for views, and so I think it's ironic that he's trying to talk about solidarity and this, that, and the third, and how we should, you know, not blame the whole Asian community and spend our money. Like, that's so fucking insane. Like, it's insane. But it is what it is. You know, black people are used to this type of behavior, but I just want people to see how fucking insane it is and how he seriously thinks this is like the way to go with the conversation. Black people don't owe anybody anything, and Asian people don't owe black people anything. So if we want to spend our money where we want to spend our money, we can do that. Also, black people have boycotted white businesses. Black people literally boycotted the civil rights, like literally stopped riding buses. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Black people boycott a lot. You just don't care because it doesn't affect you. And now it's affecting the Asian community. Now you're like, no boycott, no boycott. Shut the fuck up.
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel once again. Hope you are fine wherever you are watching from. So at the beginning of this boycott by blacks, we saw Asians community come out and spoke against it, meaning they saw this boycott as a waste of time. But after some time, we saw these their businesses closing their doors. They came out crying and apologizing, but no response came from these blacks. Now they are out there threatening to boycott black businesses. Will this deter blacks from their boycott? So let's watch these compilations until the end, and I'll be back with a little discussion. Remember, all credit goes to the original creators of these videos.
Boycotting is not enough. boycotting the Asian community is just not enough for me. Honestly, I feel like we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. And in order for us to like really crush our competition and let them know like we really don't need them for real, because we don't. And what that video told me was that their business models, they came here and they made great business models that work in our own communities. And we haven't figured out how to do that. So I'm going to take my accounting expertise and bring it to you. So first of all, we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. Now, one person goes over to Asia, they come here, or that one person comes from Asia, they come over here, they work, save money, buy a building, open up a nail salon. They call 5 of their family members and say, hey, nail salon is up and running. You guys come over here and we're going to start working. Now, this is the one thing we're missing and we don't understand about our competitor. They're not going to pay them the same thing that we would expect here in America. Why? Because their expectations are different. They're not coming here thinking they're going to make $17 an hour. They're actually okay with making 10. They're not rich. So their largest expense is now cut in half. Not only that, but their business model makes sense for our own Black communities, right? And I'll say for the specific communities that one man was talking about, right? He's talking about low income communities. Let's keep it a band. And the reason it works for us is because their price point is low. Why is their price point low? Because they do high volume. High volume meaning there's 5 different people, maybe 6, 7 different employees in there. They can afford to have 6, 7, 8 employees there because they're only paying them $10 an hour. They do not have to pay them the standard rate of like 17. So they can have more employees in there, right? So more employees equals more people that can get done, right? They can probably bust out about $1,500 to $2,000 a day working on maybe, 30, 40 women in one day. That's easy work for them. And that's only one day. So high volume is what helps them. High volume, low price point, okay? Also keep in mind, largest expense is very minimum because they're using foreigners to handle their labor in their business. All right, so now let's talk about us in our Black community. I'm not sure why we have all these one-off nail salons. And when I mean by one-off, meaning you have one person in this nail salon, in this studio that's charging about $150 per set. That doesn't work. Why would that ever work? 1, you're not helping the community. 2, you're not giving jobs. 3, yeah, you might be making $600 in a day. But how long is that going to last? It might not be consistent, and you're doing all the work, right? Because you're just one person. So you're doing the marketing, you're doing the sales, you have to do the nails, you have to do the cleanup, the taxes, the accounting. You're doing everything because you're one person. But if you opened a business, you can spread the wealth. So hear me out. Again, disclaimer, I am not in the nail industry, so I don't know all the details. But I'm an accountant and I'm really good with numbers. So follow me here. What if we did 2 different models in a nail factory, meaning the first model being a membership model, okay? You tell 150 women that, hey, you can get your nails and toes done twice a month for $200, right? Or maybe you say 300. I'm gonna go with 200 though for math's sake, okay? If you can get 150 women to do that, that's going to be $30,000 in recurring revenue every single month. Guaranteed. $30,000 in recurring revenue, okay? Now, let's talk about the highest expense. It's going to be payroll. You make it $30,000 in recurring revenue, you can afford to pay somebody $17 an hour. It might cost you about, with 5 employees, that's probably going to cost you about $12,240. That's paying 5 employees, $17 per hour, and they're working about 36 hours per week. That's going to be $12,240. If you add in the taxes and the payroll fees that you're going to have to pay, that's going to be about $16,000, okay? But you just made $30,000. That leaves you with $14,000 left, or 47% of your revenue to pay for other things. And that's just one tier. The second tier is that these nail techs that can build their own clientele, come work in the studio in our building. We take 10%. The other 90 is for you. You think one nail tech, let's say they do $5,000 per month, okay? And that's minimum. They do $5,000 per month. We're going to take 500 of that. You get 10 of those, you done made an extra $5,000. So now instead of $30,000, you just made $35,000. Great business model. Everybody eats. You have your employee, you have your people that want to do their own business. They're keeping 90% of their revenue. Then you have the people that are doing hourly, and you're doing a membership model with them. I want to hear y'all thoughts and what you would think about it, but my goal is to build something sustainable to where we never have to go back to the Asian community. It's not a question of boycotting. You'll never see us again because our business models work in our own communities. All right, that's all I have. Share your thoughts. Bye.
Black women have been putting in trillions of dollars over the years into the beauty industry. That money should be circulating back to us, point blank, period. If Asians are upset that Black Americans are saying that we want to be able to patronize our own businesses and to send a clear message that no, you cannot discriminate against us and expect to stay in our communities, y'all need to have a town meeting. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm here for my people. And if you got a problem with that, then you stand for redlining. This is the new modern day redlining. Most Asians who have businesses set up in predominantly Black communities, they are not living there, nor do they put money back into the community across the board. At the end of the day, it's not a transactional, relationship.
When I spoke about Asians being racist to Black people, you guys got very sensitive. Asians have the impression and the false narrative that Black people are criminals. It doesn't matter where you go, who you are, that's just what they think about Black people. And so Black people should not be apologetic to think whatever about Asians. Now, I go into a co-op to get myself flowers. I buy myself flowers every single week. TMI. And after I paid for the flowers, I realized that one of the roses had come off. I'm not spending £20 to lose a rose. So I go to the guy at the till, an Asian man, and I said, hey, I've paid for this. However, one of the roses off. Can I go get another one? He goes, sure, provided it's the same one. Duh, of course it's going to be the same one. Guess what? He comes off the till and follows me, not knowing I could see him.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm serious about this shit. I'm not spending another damn dime.
You know what? You're right. Let's boycott Asian businesses. But first of all, your glasses, they're probably from Asia. Your hair extensions, probably from Asia as well. Your car and your jewelry, probably from Asia. The clothes on your back, unfortunately Asian as well. And oh yeah, TikTok's Chinese.
So what do y'all think about this? Here we go, another Asian telling y'all that y'all can't do without them. And it's amazing to me how the women get on this app and be so quick to say what they ain't gonna do and what they don't need and who they gonna boycott, when you sitting up here with everything on that they produce. You got the hair on, you got the weave on, the clothes, designer clothes, everything he said you got. So what you gonna do? It's kind of unbelievable. And I tell you something else, I've been seeing videos where people have been lately really trying to patronize in the Black community. And what happens? One girl said, and this is why I stopped with the black nail technicians, and I had thought about that thing. A lot of black nail technicians, when you go to them and your nails are already done, they don't want to do your nails. They say they don't work over anybody else's work, and you have to go get them taken off. They don't have the service of taking off nails or soaking them off, so you still have to go to an Asian for them to take your nails off. And that's when an Asian told me I was messing my nail bed up because I kept on getting my nails taken off and going to get them redone, a fresh set every time. It's like you destroying your nail bed. I was like, okay. Then you hear another girl on here. She said she patronized with a black establishment the other day, and when she came in, she asked for a certain thing. They didn't have it, and she was like, what do you suggest? And they was like, what do you want? They just had a bad attitude, and she was finna give them a good review, and then she changed them because she's like, they treated her like trash. So what are you doing? I'll tell you something else. Every time I go into a hair supply store, and I go to the same one all the time, they are so nice to me. I get a discount, and then every once in a while they have a product in there and say, try this and see if you like it. How many times have you went to your black nail technician or your black salon person that does your hair, your black beautician, and they have actually did something like your birthday come up, and they have actually given you something for your birthday, or how else can I say this? Or vice versa. How many times do you get your hair done and you know your beautician does a good job and you don't even tip them? I'm just saying, we just out of order in all kind of ways, and we got a lot of work to do. You have to be a certain type of way if you're going to own a business and you want people to come and shop with you. Because now they just come and shop with you because of this boycotting thing. But if they really had a choice and this never would have happened, guess what? They would have never came to your store because you don't treat them with respect. You don't treat them with respect. And then the good people that do your services, you don't tip them. You understand me? I wouldn't dare not tip my beautician. Wouldn't dare not tip my nail tech because I appreciate the service they give me.
And so what if Black people are boycotting Asian businesses? If that's what it takes to wake our community up, more power to them. And I really need Asians to wake the fuck up. Because I am tired of getting on this app every business week and having to talk about some fuck shit that some Asian person is doing to Black people. There's so many other things I want to talk about on this app. Domestic violence prevention, mosquito brains, because that's what I got my PhD in. My writing process and how I write sci-fi novels and how I write, yes, the small business that I run because I write those sci-fi novels. But instead, no, I always see some Asian doing some model minority stuff and then I feel a moral imperative to talk about it because it ends up in the death of innocent people like Cyrus Carmack Belton. I am sick of watching our country slide into fascism and watch the Asian vote be split because so many of us want to ally ourselves with our oppressors. And in my personal life, I'm tired of not being able to trust Asian people that I meet because so many of you would throw Asian people under the bus for white acceptance. And on top of that, a number of my friends are Black people, and I don't want to have anybody in my life who is unsafe for my friends. Model minority Asians are unsafe for Asians to be around as well, and they are potentially lethal for Black people. I don't want that in my community. Get that out. And if these Asian stores close, like the ones that opened up in Black neighborhoods, and then complain about Black people being there and do racist things to them and profile them, let the stores close. Y'all don't deserve to be there. Have some respect. I know Asian people love money. So Black people withholding their dollars might actually get through some of your thick skulls.
To confront anti-Blackness in the Asian American diaspora, you will get told by your own community that you are less Asian for it. East Asian podcasters Patrick Ta, Natasha Dawes, Black Foundation, Cyrus Carmack Belton, Latasha Harlins, ABG Max, and Asian meetups. What do all of these things I just listed have in common? It's anti-Blackness. I've been working on this book, my book, for a very long time now. But I said fuck everything. I'm not special. I feel like everything I know is very basic. I think everything I think about anti-Blackness and solidarity work and intersectionality is all very basic. I think racial triangulation is very basic. To change the racism in your own community, you have to be a part of that community. 29 years of living, I have been trying to confront the anti-Blackness that happens in my own home. It took me 7 years just to get my mom to stop referring to Black people as dark chocolate and milk chocolate. I started writing this comprehensive, very basic, step-by-step guide to confront and rectify the anti-Blackness in the Asian American community. I don't feel like anything that I've written is new or in any of the sense nuanced. I've never written anything like this before, and I've definitely never shared it, but now more than ever, I think I should be sharing these very foundational steps that I've applied in my own life, shared with my own friends, tried to teach in my own family and home and community. These are the foundational steps in being a decent Asian American human, especially as an East Asian, because we have our own diaspora wars in the Asian community. East Asian American diaspora specifically need to start reparations now more than ever. I think a lot of specifically East Asian Americans are raised with a lot of book smarts and not a lot of street smarts, and we need this education now more than ever. And when I really think about it, I think most East Asian Americans haven't even been in these streets. What are you gonna learn today? Even though I'm in community with a lot of East Asian folks, Southeast Asian folks, South Asian people who are actively doing the work to unpack the anti-Blackness, the colorism, the racism, the classism in our own community, even though I see a lot of other Asian creators as a whole talking about the anti-Blackness in our communities, especially on here at our internet dinner table, referenced from Nathan Ramos' part. Here at our internet dinner table, we see us all doing the very first step, which is acknowledgement, which is ownership, which is taking accountability in the anti-Blackness in our communities that we are complicit in. What I don't see is us talking about the next steps. I think a lot of people actually stop at that first step because they feel so much shame, embarrassment, and condemnation for having to acknowledge the anti-Blackness in our community. It makes us feel like we're not a good Asian. That's why I'm making my Substack a public domain to access resources like this. You only have to subscribe and pay if you want to hear about, like when I worked for a Hollywood drug delivery company, when I was only dating street pharmacists when I was moving and my ex's dad jumped out of the rental truck and I had to drive it when I was on Xanax. Like, it's gonna be stuff like that. Those are the types of stories that I will be putting behind the paywall. Please go read the Substack. It comes out today at 2:22 p.m. and follow my Instagram. Like I just said, follow my Substack and find me on YouTube.
Hello and welcome back. Now it has reached to a place where Asians are now calling for their community to boycott black stores and products. The day when blacks decided to boycott Asian products and stores, this Asian community never took this thing seriously. They never knew this was their end in business. They took it lightly, knowing that it was mere threats from blacks. They knew black communities won't live without them and their businesses. All they knew was black lives depend on them and their businesses. So living without Asians was an impossible thing. Recently, we saw these people start to react when they saw the reality of these boycotts to their businesses. Some of them had come to their senses and started apologizing to this black community. Others were all over the internet asking for reconciliation. I think that the black community didn't want to hear about. They went on and on with their boycott. This saw many Asians close their stores because of the boycott impact on their businesses. Even with all the threats, these people had stood their ground. After all these threats which fell on deaf ears, and all those apologies that were never received any attention, these Asians have now come out with another threat to see if it can save the situation. They have also resulted to boycott black stores and products. I think these are the kicks of a dying horse. What these people know very well is that they never support any of these black efforts, from business to political and human rights issues. From the past, this has been all over. From earlier days, blacks have stood alone without their support in any way. From fighting for their human rights, we have seen on social media black people go it alone without the support of any other community. These people have gone through hell, but when they are out there on the streets or any other place, you see them alone without the support of any other community, struggling to air their grievances to their targeted institutions. I see these people as tough. They do it alone without begging for help from other people. No matter the issue that they are going through, they will be there to stand for theirs without fear or support from anyone. Now, when you see these Asians come out with these threats to boycott black products and businesses, it's just a way to get the attention of these people who don't even want to hear any of that, because they know that is a mere threat. Because from way back, no Asians has supported these people or their businesses or even products. How can you disrespect someone and later on support their businesses or efforts? You know, these people look down on blacks. They see themselves as superior. They see themselves as more human than these blacks. So when you hear someone come out and say they will boycott something that they don't even support, just know that the man has reached a point where everything is not on his side. It's seen as a survival trick where everything is on the loose. It's like when you are drowning, you try to get something to hold on to save your life. When you see a grass hanging near you, you try to save your life by hanging on that grass that can't even help you because can't support you because of your weight. I mean, you can't boycott something that you yourself haven't supported. You see, these blacks succeed in everything they do. So coming out and threatening them will will see will so coming out and threatening them with your so-called boycott won't deter them in any way. Asians and other communities have tried to do what blacks have done without any success. Recently, we saw them come out to beg for support from the black community when they went for the No Kings protest. A thing that never worked for them. All I can tell these Asians is that no matter the threats or anything you do to deter these blacks, it won't work. The only issue here is to respect blacks. Please show these people respect and all you want will be in place. This disrespect and all those threats will only worsen the situation. So, good people, I appreciate your time. I like when you engage me on the comment section. Continue doing so. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And also like, share, and see you on my next episode.